If you live outside the UK or inside the UK, you probably noticed that after 3.5 years of negotiation, for want of a better word, we are still struggling to escape from the political open prison we know as the European Union, and our country has become an international laughingstock. We voted for independence, but what we've been given, begrudgingly by a corrupt political class, is a treaty that keeps us under European Union control, operating to its rules, not ours, that compels us not to be competitive by setting lower trade tariffs, and that keeps us under the jurisdiction of a political court, the ludicrously named European Court of Justice. And now we're voting in a general election. Yes, another one, where the party that has cynically presided over this insulting disaster expects to be re-elected. They're using fear of the opposition's extremism to make us swallow a fake Brexit where we don't have control of our trade and defence arrangements, where we don't take back our fishing waters, and where we are not, in fact, independent. The Tories never had any intention of honouring that referendum result. They have always regarded Brexit as a problem to be neutralised. For 3.5 years, they've purposely negotiated in bad faith to keep us tied as closely as possible to the European Union, to make it easier for future governments to take us back in by stealth and political chicanery, the same way they took us in the first time. They had a majority right after the referendum, and they could have delivered Brexit there and then, but they chose to engage in these drawn-out negotiations for the express purpose of wearing us down so that we'll settle for anything to make it stop, which is pretty much where we are now. They installed a leader who they knew had absolutely no intention of delivering independence, and who negotiated a withdrawal agreement that would have been worse than staying in. And even after she squandered a parliamentary majority and lost the confidence of the country, they had 2 opportunities to get rid of her, yet both times they chose to keep her in place, knowing she had no intention of delivering independence until, that is, she became such an embarrassment even to the Tory party that they had to get rid of her. And now Boris Johnson has taken up where she left off, and he's peddling her fake Brexit with a lick of paint like a crooked used car salesman. If we're gullible enough to give the Tories a majority in this election, they intend to wear us down with years of further negotiation until we just don't care anymore and Brexit is dead. The only way we'll get the independence we voted for more than 3 years ago is if the Brexit Party holds the balance of power after this election, and that will only happen if we vote for Brexit Party candidates, those of us who can. And this is where it gets interesting, because although the Tories have at least gone through the motions of pretending to try and deliver Brexit, the wretched Labour Party hasn't even done that. Instead, they have brazenly reneged on their core promise to respect the result of the biggest democratic vote in our history, and they have given a middle finger to the millions of people who elected Labour MPs on the back of that promise. It's as if they want to leave their traditional working class base in no doubt as to how much contempt the modern Labour Party has for them and for the things they believe in. But then working class people don't vote Labour anymore, not if they're paying attention. They know this is not the same Labour Party their parents and grandparents voted for. That Labour Party is gone, and I speak as a former card-carrying member of it. Labour is now the party of the progressive multicultural crowd, the PC metropolitan bourgeoisie, the patronising guardianista class who think they know best for everyone, the comfortable pension and mortgage-owning anti-capitalist community who love immigration because immigrants will clean their house and look after their kids for a pittance but won't actually live anywhere near them. The kind of people who publicly mock a house with a St. George's flag on the window and a white van in the yard as if it's something to be ashamed of. If you're a working class person who still votes Labour, you're voting for people who despise you. They laugh at you. They think your views and your values are crude, ignorant, and shallow, and they don't want your opinion about anything, you racist. They just want your vote. Well, now is your chance to give it to them, right where they don't want it. Because this election, more than any other, will be won or lost by the working class voter. I'm talking about people who usually vote Labour in constituencies where they usually elect a Labour MP, because these are the only places where the Brexit Party is standing. So the voters in these constituencies are the people who will decide whether or not we leave the European Union. You people have all the power in this election. It doesn't matter how they vote in the shires. You are the only people who've been given the opportunity to insist that democracy is respected and that the result of the most important democratic vote in this country's history is delivered, whether politicians like it or not. It's entirely in your hands. If you elect enough Brexit Party MPs and ditch Labour with their plan for a rigged second referendum that would destroy democracy in this country, then the Tories will have to deliver what they have never intended to deliver: full national sovereign independence from all European Union institutions, jurisdiction and control. That is Brexit. If you voted for Brexit, if you want Brexit, it's right there for you on a plate. All you have to do is take it.